Hey, Stephen Smith here, and I believe that I have a word from the Lord for you today. God has blessed us in so many different ways, and we go through so many trials and difficulties in our lives. You know why? Most of the time it's because we get out ahead of God and we end up messing things up. God wants us to step aside and allow Him to be God. He trusts us to believe and know that He can do the things that He said that He's going to do. And when we believe that, then all of a sudden He gets all the glory in the world. And that ultimately is what we're here for, to allow God to get all the glory for the things that He does in our lives. Psalms 46:10 tells us, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be honored by every nation. I will be honored throughout the entire world." This is a great message for us because it tells us that God is saying, look, just step aside, allow me to be God, and then everything else is going to work out fine. Take a look at Psalms 46:10 in the Message translation. It says, "Step out of the traffic. Take a long, loving look at me. You're a high God, above politics, above everything else." God wants to be the God that He knows we need. And we don't need to be worrying about things on Facebook. We don't need to be worrying about things that are going on in our lives. I don't need to be worried about the political situation in Afghanistan. These are all things that are all out of our control, and God wants us to leave these things in His hands. Do you think that maybe we could do that? Look at this passage here in Zechariah 2:13. It says, "Be silent before the Lord, all humanity, for He is springing into action from His holy dwelling." God is springing into action on your behalf. That's right. God wants to move forward and is moving forward. The only thing that's holding Him back is us. A lot of times the distractions that we have, the things that we cause, the boxes that we put God into don't enable Him to be able to work in our lives. So just step back, allow God to be God, and He will be God. He'll do a great job for you, I promise. Take a look at Psalms 100, verse 3. It says, "Acknowledge that the Lord is God. He made us, and we are His. We are His people, the sheep of His pasture." Look at it this way. God said that if we're the sheep of His pasture, then He is our shepherd. If we know and believe that He's our shepherd, then can we look at the 23rd Psalm and know and believe every single part of that passage, knowing that God is our shepherd, that the Lord is our shepherd, and we don't have need of anything else? This is a tremendous promise for us, and if we take this to heart, then we can be successful. The same man that wrote that psalm also faced a giant. He went down and he spoke pretty boldly about what he was going to do to this giant. But he spoke boldly because the Lord was with him when he faced a lion. The Lord was with him when he faced a bear. So if he knew that He was with him in those instances, He was definitely going to be with him as he was fighting a giant. Another thing that we don't often consider, but 3 chapters before this, David was anointed to be king of Israel. David knows and believes that he's going to be the king of Israel eventually. God is on his side, and there's no way that he could possibly fail. So look at the statement that he makes to Goliath when he goes down into that valley to defeat him. He says, "Today the Lord will conquer you, and I will kill you and cut off your head. And then I will give the dead bodies of your men to the birds and the wild animals, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel." That is powerful. So if I know and if we believe that what God says is true, if He has moved for us in the past, He's going to move for us in the future. If we know that we're anointed to do something very special, then God is definitely going to move on our behalf. All we need to do is get out of the way, believe, and have the faith to trust that God is going to do exactly what it is that He said. Well, I hope that this has been a blessing to you and maybe even an encouragement. Here's the word that I believe that the Lord has given to me for you today. "I have spoken. It's settled. You are blessed, and I will do many things for you in my name. Because of my love for you, I will move you when you need to be moved. No other man or spiritual being will ever control you again. You are mine. I am the Lord who loves you." What a great promise that is. God wants to move on your behalf. Why don't you allow Him to? Well, I hope that this post has been a blessing for you, and I hope that you share it with some others that are needing a little bit of encouragement as well. Well, God bless you, and I hope to talk to you soon.